A Short History of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Canton, 1992 to today. About a decade after the Canton Unitarian Society dissolved, a small group discussed starting another Unitarian Universalist congregation. They retrieved the funds entrusted to the Akron congregation, and with the help of the Akron leaders and the district, they wrote bylaws and applied to become a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association. In 1992, 15 adults signed the membership book, and they received a charter from the state of Ohio. The group started out meeting twice a month at the Unity Church of Truth on Wales Road in Massillon. There was a bit of a problem with people confusing the names, even though the theologies were radically different. In 1993, the congregation moved to the Sarah Center, an adult daycare center housed in the McKinley Center. During this time, the group contracted with a part-time minister, the Reverend David Cole. The group also held a Building Your Own Theology class. Later, the congregation went through a period of decline and were faced with the decision to dissolve the congregation or to take bold action to save it. With the help of the district, we hired a student minister, Danielle DeBona. After almost 7 years in this space, a conflict arose with the management of the Sarah Center. The congregation invited a West Virginia Unitarian Universalist chaplain, who was also a member of the Hemlock Society, to give a service about assisted suicide. The management evicted the congregation. Fortunately, the Market Heights United Church of Christ let us rent their lower level, and we shared the space peacefully. We had more dynamic programming, including the original Over Our Heads choir. During this time, the board hired the Reverend H. Paul Schwitzgable, and the congregation was allowed to put a permanent sign on the church lawn. We used their sanctuary when we ordained the Reverend Danielle DeBona in 2001. It was a proud and inspiring moment for this community. The board then hired and co-ordained another student minister, the Reverend Jim Bosveld, in 2003, until his untimely death in March 2004. At this point, the congregation went back to being lay-led, with some informal assistance from the Reverend Elaine Strawn, who is the minister at the Wayne County UU Fellowship just down the road. During the 6 years at Market Heights, this congregation grew from 32 to 50 members. Unfortunately, the United Church of Christ district decided to start a new church plant, which would require the whole church building. We scrambled to find new space and finally settled for space in downtown Canton in the Arts and Stark building. This was another low point in the life of the congregation. We had to once again operate as a church in the box, with programming only on Sunday mornings, and with strict rules about the use of space. We were not permitted any signage, and parking was confusing. It was not a good situation, and led to some pretty unfortunate conflicts. Some good things happened out of that unfortunate situation, though. First of all, this congregation developed and approved a right relations policy and covenant where we have promised one another to live in love as a faith community. We also received several substantial financial gifts from individuals as well as the district and from the UUA in Boston that made buying our very own home possible. With the new building, a new sense of energy emerged as everyone pulled together to renovate a former motorcycle dealership into this lovely worship space. With our own building, we have weekday programming, Sunday school classrooms, and a lending library. We host a coffee house, film series, and other community events. That is the story of where we come from. But the best part of the story is where we are going. We are a vibrant and growing community with energy and excitement. We have programs for all ages, both for personal development and social action. We are connected with the wider UU community. We hope that you might consider this as your spiritual home.